Hey friends, thanks for joining me today. I am going to be walking you through how cute and simple this card is to make. This is featuring brand new product, including all 5 of the new in colors. So you can see we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. These are really, really cute. I'm also featuring one of my favorite brand new products, and that is this tote. It comes with the Notes and Totes die and stamp bundle. So this is what the stamp set looks like. You've got a lot of really cute, versatile sentiments that you can use for lots of things. So that's the stamp set that comes included. You also can get a ton of dies that coordinate. These actually come in like a big 6x6 square. I like to actually keep my stamps and my dies together when they come packaged separately. So I took 2 5x7 magnet sheets and I split these up, and that way I can put them into this same container and store them all together. Now, a little tip for you, I like to put a little dot on the bottom of my stamps if there are dies that match that are included in here, so that at a glance, I know this has both stamps and dies. So let me walk you through some of the things that come in the die set. And I apologize for the glare on the light above. So we have got this really cute tote, and this is the base that everything is built on. It actually comes with 2 different handles. So here's one of the handles, here's another handle. These, it's so nice that this is one die, but it actually comes with all 3 pieces that you need to create. Where is the original card? It's hiding. Hold on. Oh, I just set it over here. This creates these 2 linings and then also the bottom base. So these 3 all come in that one die, which is really nice. Okay. And then you also have a really cute purse scarf. You have a really cute tag. And then these are little buckles if you choose to use them. I chose to split these up so all the basics are on one sheet and most of the accents are on a separate sheet. So for this one, you are going to have this, which is really cute. When you cut this out, it actually will help you build like a fence with fence posts. So fun. This is like a little newspaper clipping, which is fun, and I will be using that. You have got a water bottle you can tuck in your tote. You have got like some pump in there, like for lotion or whatever. Here's another sunscreen bottle, adorable. Okay, do you see all these fun accents? Here's a pocket. And then we've got a starfish, we have sunglasses, a snail. This comes with so many things, and I'm kind of addicted to it, you guys. It's so, so cute. All right, so what I'm gonna do is just walk you through all the pieces and parts. I put this black piece down just to help with some of that glare from the camera above. So I've pre-cut some of these just to make this go by a little bit more quickly. You'll notice that I have 4 of the in color stamp pads in front of me. I'm missing 1. We don't have cloud cover, which is this color, and that's because there was a problem with the ink variation. So that ink is not available, and that is okay because I don't actually need it for this project. So we have the cloud cover, Strawberry Slush, Timid Tiger, Secret Sea, and we have Darling Duckling, okay? All right, the first thing that I'm going to do is I've taken a standard, this is half a sheet of cardstock cut in half. This is my card base, and I'm going to glue a strip of this 2" by 5.5, and that is going to just go right down the center of my card. I'm going to do this as quick as I can because I know you guys like shorter videos versus long ones. I'm going to eyeball it, but you could get out something and measure it perfectly if you would like. So that is the base of this, okay? And then the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp using that Darling Duckling, a little flower sprig in each corner, followed by just a note. So I have made that a little easy for myself, and I've already put the stamps on blocks that I'm going to use. So this is a tip. If you don't do this, this is a great time saver. I like to put stamps on either side and just make sure you place them so they don't overlap each other. And that helps you stamp a little faster and not have to have quite as many blocks out, okay? So let's go ahead and open this up. And I am going to ink up these really cute flowers. And this is just gonna go kind of off the edge a little bit. I just want a little spritz of color here. There's no right or wrong. You can put, if you want more than that, if you want to line the whole bottom, you can. I just wanted a little pop of color there, okay? I'll close that in a bit. Let me go ahead and add the Just a Note featuring Secret C. So I'm just going to, oh, that's actually this look. I'm going to take this one, do a nice little tap there, and I'm going to overlap this here. Okay, Just a Note. And I'll close that when I'm done with this as well. Okay, so we have the base of our card that's done. That just took minutes. So all I have left to do is build this part, which is very, very fun. So here, I'll leave this here so you can see what I'm doing as well. All right, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pull out my Stampin' Up! Die Cut Emboss machine, and I am going to cut all of the pieces. So you are going to see that we have a white tote base. I've got the little liner accent pieces, the core base piece. I've got this piece for the handle, and then I'm adding a really cute little purse scarf, and I'm also adding this little tag. You can add an optional little gem or a sparkle or something. I won't do it in today's card for speed, but that's just a fun little accent. And then this is just, you could make this removable. I glued it down, and you can just tuck that in for a really fun card to give someone. Because you'll see this in a minute, this is, it has little tabs on the sides. You can fold under and glue those down. It leaves a pocket here. So I could put a little gift in here. I could put a gift card. I could put some sparkles. I could, you know, roll up a couple of bills and slide that in. And there's so many possibilities to make a really cute pocket card because you have this open space. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, let me pull this up just a little bit. Okay, in fact, I think this will actually grip a little bit better if I move this out of the way. Okay, let's go ahead and open this up. Now what I'm going to be doing is taking my plates. So I've got my base plate, number 1. This is my shim plate, number 2, and both of my 3s. Okay, so 1, 2, and 3. You've got two of these because we are going to put whatever we are cutting, we're going to put right in the middle of that. Okay. So let's start with the base tote piece. So I'm going to take some white and I'm going to take this, and we always do cardstock first and then our die cut piece down like that. I'm going to sandwich this in between my number 3. Okay. And then I'll place this on top of number 2 and on top of number 1. And I am going to run this through my die cut machine. I really like how smooth this rolls through. It's even better than I ever thought that it would be. Okay, so this is what it's going to look like when it's cut out. You can see it has a little bit of stitch dimension. Hopefully you can see that at the top. And the score lines are already included in that, which makes it really, really easy. So we'll set that aside and I'll come back to that. Now, another tip for you is if you're cutting a lot of smaller pieces, rather than like our brain kind of wants to do one at a time, there's no need. Do them all. So what I mean by that is I am going to put all of these pieces down. So I've put down my first number 3 plate, and I am going to set all of these on it and run them through at the same time. This is going to save you time versus like doing them all separately. There's no need. So I'm going to do this piece, which is all of the accent pieces on the tote. I'm going to do this piece, which is my handle. I am also going to be doing my purse scarf, which is this piece I'm doing on my darling duckling. I'm going to add this little tag, which is honestly so super cute. I love that so much. And then the last one that I'm going to add is this piece. And this is going to be for our little newspaper clipping. I probably should have put a little bit larger piece of white there, because if that moves a little bit, it might be off. But that's okay. We're going to do our best, okay? So set these on here. Make sure that everything is lined up nicely and everything fits. And then we're going to put our top plate on, our second number 3. Doesn't look like anything's moved, so I think we're okay. And then I'm going to start running these all through, and I'm going to cut out basically every single thing that I need in one cut. You see how much easier that is? Okay, let's move this out of the way. And then let's go ahead and take off all of these pieces. I'm gonna put this black underneath because I do have a light glare. So there's our tote. And then I've got this, which honestly, I should have pulled out my, let's see. I should have pulled out my little poking tool so that I can get these out, but I'll try to carefully do it with my scissors because I forgot to grab that. Actually, here's one right here. There is a reason that you have these little holes in your dies, and that's so that if something sticks, that helps you pop it out. So forgot to do that, but thankfully I had one close. All right, so we're gonna pop that one out. This one already popped out really nicely. And then we are going to take this one. That one also popped out nicely. This has room for your title, and it even has like a little, like a book binding or a newspaper binding, which is kind of cute. That's gonna go there. And then for our blue, this is what we have here. This is the bottom. And then you can see our blue pieces are still in here, so we need to pop those guys out. There we go. And then the last thing is our little purse handle, our little tote handle. There we go. Okay, that's it. This is all the pieces. So I'm gonna grab a pair of scissors. One of the things that I played with for quite a while as I was trying to figure this out is, first of all, you're gonna see some things here. The first thing that you're gonna see is there is a score line here. You don't have to fold on that if you don't want to. If you do fold it a little bit, it'll just give you a little bit more depth on your pocket. But you know what I did use it for? Is I used it for my, my little strip. So I glued that on the inside of that line, and it helped me make sure that I had really straight lines. So those are gonna go here. But you also have a score line here on the outside and on the outside here, which I am going to score backwards on these small little ones. These are the tabs that you're gonna add your adhesive on and glue that to your card front, okay? And then this is the bottom piece that we are also going to add adhesive on. Now, one fun thing about this is you can actually take two of these and glue them together, and I believe that's what this little guy is for. It's kind of tiny, but you could glue these pieces together if there was like one you wanted to do back to back as a little party favor that had a base that would stand. But honestly, for this project, I don't really need this. It's kind of in my way. So all that I did for this was trimmed that part off. No big deal. Okay? So this is what this is going to look like. Let's go ahead and glue this down onto our, actually no, let's build it first. We'll glue it in a second, okay? I'm gonna give that just a little bit of a bend so I can see this a little bit more easily. All right, let's go ahead and take our accent pieces. Make sure that you are using the correct side, and I'm gonna put just a little bit of adhesive on here. You don't need much of liquid adhesive because it holds really well. So I barely just touch and tap to get a little bit on there because it's gonna adhere really nicely. And then again, we're gonna line this up with the inside of that score line, and we're gonna go all the way to the top, okay? All right, that looks pretty good. And we're gonna do the same with the second piece, okay? Make sure you're adding your adhesive to the correct side so that the stitching is on the outside. We're just adding a little bit of that there. And we're doing the same here on this score line, starting at the top and going all the way down like that. Okay, so that's our first piece. All right, so the next thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and glue this piece down. Again, make sure you add adhesive in the correct spot. If we fold this tab out of the way, you're gonna see that this matches perfectly with the bottom of our tote. Isn't that the cutest thing you guys have ever seen? Like, I saw this in the catalog when it went live for pre-order, and I was like, that's literally the first thing that I'm buying because I know that I'm going to use that so much. Again, you don't need tons of glue. If you do too much liquid glue, sometimes it'll squish out, and that's kind of a pain. Okay, so I'm gonna fold these edges under just so that I can really clearly see where the base of my tote is. The other thing about using liquid glue is you can kind of move it just a little bit to get it where you want before you press it and it's securely down. Okay? All right, next we're gonna add our handle. So you can see this is what the handle looks like. And on this one, we're not adding any adhesive at the top. We're only doing it from these two edges along the bottom, and then we're gonna match up that corner with the top of the bag. Does that make sense? So let's flip this around, and I'm gonna add a little bit of adhesive right here, but I'm not going past those two corners because I don't want to glue this to the base of my card, and I don't want to mess it up. So I'm gonna kind of eyeball it, get it as close as to even as I can, and then just press so that that adheres to the top of the tote bag. Okay? All right, let's go ahead and glue this down to our card just so that you can see how this is gonna come together. Can you see how easy this is so far already? I absolutely love this. So you can flip this over, and we're gonna only add adhesive on these tabs. And make sure you only add it there because we do wanna keep that center open because we want the pocket so that we can slide things inside of it. And then you can put this at an angle. You can put it wherever you want. I want to be able to put things in it, so I don't want it super close to the top. So I'm kind of eyeballing this, and I'm adding it a little closer to the bottom versus the top. And then I'm going to press down the sides and the bottom. And now I have this little pocket here. And then we're gonna add our finishing touches. So let's go ahead and let's add our cute little purse scarf. And the top of this, I'm just lining up with like where I would have tied that onto my handle, okay? So you can glue the whole thing down or just add a little bit of adhesive there. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm just putting a little bit of adhesive right where like a knot would be if I had tied this little purse scarf to my tote. And then put it at whatever angle that you want. Okay. And then we're gonna do the same thing with this really cute little tag. Okay, flip it over, and we're gonna add a little bit of adhesive on the back. And then I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna add that right here. Now again, you can go back and add a little gem or something if you want, like I did. That's an optional thing, and there are some really cute little gems that coordinate with this set. But you can see I've got the base of this done, and again, I have a little pocket where I can tuck things inside. So the first thing that I want to do is I am going to stamp right here using this strawberry slush. There are two different stamps that coordinate. This one's my favorite. It says, "Newsflash, you're fabulous," which I adore. And so let's go ahead and take our strawberry slush. These are brand new, so they're still a little tight. I need to break them in, but that's okay. We love a good brand new color. Okay. Now, if you're using a stamp set for the first time, make sure to season it. You can stamp on it on some scrap paper and just see what you think. And then I am going to put this in the center of where those score lines were. You can actually see the score lines on there, okay? Now, if you wanted, you could put something here in the middle. I'm not gonna worry about that because most of this is going to be tucked away. And then I can just tuck this here into my tote, okay? What's really cute is like, if I left this, it would fall down to the bottom. So for something like this, I'm gonna go ahead and add some adhesive so it's sticking out of the tote as if like it was like an iPad sticking out or like a laptop, or it could be newspaper, however you wanted to make it look, something like super simple. But carefully, so that we don't get adhesive everywhere, we're going to line this up here, and I wanna make sure the handle isn't in the way of the letters here. So that's it. Can you see how cute and easy that was? And now I have still, since this is empty all the way to the bottom, there's plenty of room to tuck in a gift card, to take maybe a $20 bill or $5 bill for a kid, whatever you want to do, fold it up and slide that in there. Or again, you can use some of those other decorative accents like a water bottle. You can stamp those. In fact, in the catalog on this page where it's featured, you are going to see some other cute ideas that they have created with this set. So I have got a couple of these cutie little cards. And for anyone who shops with me today, because today is the first day of the new catalog, anyone who places an order today, May 6th, is going to go into a drawing to get one of these two. So I'm going to be mailing out both of these cards. So if you shop today, you're automatically entered into that, and you might just have one of these show up in your box. Anyway, enjoy it, you guys. Love this set. Bye.